Good evening, gentlemen and lady gentlemen. This is your good pal Psycho Rick. I am here today and we are going to go over our stuff to help us make positive changes. So in today's video, we are going to go over the Freudian iceberg theory to understanding ourselves to make positive changes in our lives. Now, who doesn't want a positive change in their life? On the agenda, we'll have an introduction, levels of consciousness, id, the it, the superego, the upper I, and the ego, the I. Right now, the introduction. The power of understanding ourselves. The more we grow, the more we come to understand things around us in reality. The more we tend to understand ourselves, the better decisions and choices we can make. Think about back when you were a child and the decisions you wanted to make compared to the ones you make now. We have a larger view of the world and a better understanding of the reality presented to us, or that we interpret, so we make different choices. The levels of consciousness. Now, when I say levels of consciousness, you're probably thinking, well, I already know that, right? Either one, I'm awake, two, asleep, or three, I got put into an unconscious position against my will. You are technically right. So to go on to that, to add on to whether you're awake or you're not, we're going to go into Sigmund Freud's theory of his unconscious mind. So on the first level, we have consciousness, which is where the ego lies, the tip of the iceberg, if you speak, so to speak. It is the executive mediating between the id impulses and the superego inhibitions, testing reality. It's rational. It operates mainly at a conscious level, but also at a preconscious level. At this level is where we have our thoughts and perceptions of reality. The next level, which you left out in the last slide, is our preconscious level, the superego. Ideals and morals. It is striving for perfection. It is incorporated from our parents, and it's becoming a person's conscience. Here is where our memories and stored knowledge lie. The superego acting at the preconscious level will be dipping into your short-term memories, which then goes into the superego. And the short-term memories can then lead to the long-term memories, which is stored in the superego. The last level is the unconscious level, where the id is. As an iceberg, it is the bottom, completely submerged, things we don't see. It is our basic impulses, such as sex and aggression. It seeks immediate gratification. It is irrational and is impulsive. Here is where all our fears, unacceptable desires, violent motives, irrational wishes, immoral urges, our selfish needs, shameful and traumatic experiences. So what does this all mean? Well, let's go back to the beginning at the conscious level. The ego, our executive mediator between the id impulses and superego inhibitions. Does anybody remember our social study classes where we are learning about American government? What happens when the Senate is at a dead 50-50 vote. The role of the vice president is to come in and cast the deciding vote when the Senate is split. So you can look at your ego as the vice president of the Senate. It tests reality. We're constantly seeing things and changing our opinion in certain areas due to how things are presented, right? Depending on whether it's we find it through academic or our own observations. It is rational. It wants to see things logically. A should equal A, right? Or you can go back to A squared plus B squared equals C squared. It's rational. That's what our ego wants. And again, it operates mainly at a conscious level, but also at the preconscious level. Whenever we're prompted by a question, a statement, a quote that's read, or even by something we see out in the world, our ego jumps into our preconscious level and creating a short-term memory, or dipping into a short-term memory trying to recall information, and thus then we go into our long-term memories, or we encode the short-term memory into long-term memory, which goes into our superego, our preconscious level. This is our ideals and morals. What are ideals and morals? Well, those are the values we try to live by. We're always trying to strive for perfection. So when I think of ideals and morals and striving for perfection, I think of Superman. Iconic, always standing up for the right thing, always doing the right thing. All right, and these are incorporated from our parents. Not only from our parents, but other groups we are involved in at the time. You can also incorporate religion, the Ten Commandments, set of values and morals to follow. The Boy Scouts, there's a set of values and morals set in their code. The Army or Marines or any branch in the military has a form of ideals and morals. These values have been that we internalize from all these different groups we involve ourselves in. And these things all become our conscience, our Jiminy Cricket, so to speak. It's always telling us, what's the right thing to do. And this operates mostly at a preconscious level. So it's constantly reminding us of what is right and wrong in every situation that we find ourselves in. The opposite side of that would be the id, down here at the unconscious level. Again, this is our basic impulses, our sex and aggressions. One can look at it as we all have our sexual kinks, our sexual fantasies that we have, the ones that we don't let others know about, that we keep hidden. Anytime we are disrespected, slighted in any way, and we have that immediate impulse of wanting to box them between the ears. This is also laying down here. These are our basic impulses, our animalistic instincts, so to speak. These are seeking immediate gratification, which is a problem with our society today. Instead of saving up until you have a decent amount of money that you can spend on it, we turn to credit sources like Affirm, Klarna, getting credit cards, lines of credit in order to get the thing we want now. That can also translate over into addiction, but I'll cover that at a different time. And this again operates at an unconscious level. This is everything we want and desire as boiling down deep inside of us. And gentlemen and lady gentlemen, that is our time for this section. Again, I am Psycho Rick. This is where you can find me. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Thank you. Have a great day.